Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. The following confession that you're going to be listening to, it comes from a translation of a message that I received. The message reads like this: I never thought that I would end up here. Sometimes I feel like I am losing my mind. To think that I drove from the place where I am staying, going to another province to meet a total stranger. When you are faced with spiritual problems, you do not care anymore about your security, whether you're going to get robbed or not. Lucky enough, the man that I went to see in Mpumalanga, he was not a thief or a scammer. He was just a prophet, unfortunately, that could not assist me, but he guided me and he told me that this situation that I was facing, it needed a prophet that had more powers, or a Sangoma that had real powers to cleanse me, not only me, my son, because at that time my son was almost about to die with everything that was going on in his life. The spiritual world, I want to confess, is real. There are things that you can do today, but they can affect you tomorrow. And to even think that I was a man that could even afford a bigger TV, but I am suffering because of a 32-inch Makula TV that was sold to me by some people that stole some property that did not belong to them. And I said, this TV, I want it in my son's room, and he can connect his games on that TV and play. So here is my story, confessing to a total stranger. I am a man that has always been working, a man who is like his own father. My father taught me that hard work will take you very far, and education is the key to success. I managed to go to college, a technical college, but my wife, she went to university and she works as well. Me and my wife, we had everything, and there was no need for us to complain at all. But I brought trouble into the family, and I feel like my wife has the right to blame me, because she always blames me for everything that we went through and everything that we are still going through. And in turn, I also blame my sister. She was the one who called me, and she told me that there were men that needed a favor, that wanted to hire my bakkie, and I said it is okay, and they offered me money, which was quite a lot. Later on, that was when I realized that these men, they were into some dodgy stuff, and they came and they said they wanted some space because they wanted to work throughout the night for the SAPS. They were going to raid some houses that belonged to foreigners, as well as those that were staying in different apartments and in illegal buildings, those hijacked buildings. So these men, they would follow after, and then they would take the properties that belonged to the illegal migrants that had been arrested, because the police, when they are doing their work, they do not leave the doors locked. They just break in, take their suspect, and remove the suspect from the premises and go with the suspect to the prison. But those men, they would follow behind, and that is why they wanted my bakkie, so that when they know that there is a place where there is going to be raid, police searching for illegal migrants, then they would go to that place as well. It was a good deal. I still remember that my wife got mad at me, but I offered her the 4K that the man had given to me for storage. That night I cleaned the garage. She ended up participating. I did not want some of the items to have some oil stains, because I used to fix one of my vehicle in the garage. So there were oil stains as well as empty paint buckets, and then I placed them outside. Those men, they came. I had already given them the keys to my gate. They came and they offloaded. In the morning when I woke up, I saw there were a lot of stuff, stolen property. My wife said as she was walking fast to the car, And I said, it is not stolen property, for it was acquired in an illegal way. It has been confiscated. There is no docket that can be opened for it. And she did not answer me. There were TVs, there were fridges, those mini bar fridges. There were suitcases that were full of clothes, different items that were valuable, as well as microwaves, home theater systems. So these men, they just wanted to use my garage as storage, and then they would go and sell them. All of these items, they would sell them to different people. And they even said these things, they sell very fast because they resell it to other foreigners. So they were even laughing, saying that this is more like a door that keeps on going round and round, like a revolving door. You go and take it from the foreigner and you sell it to another foreigner. And then that was when I saw the other TV that I am talking about. It was a 32-inch, not even an original TV at all. I just took it, for it was brand new, gave the men the money that they wanted, which was not even a lot. One of the guys said, just give me 200 timer so that I can go and buy some alcohol. That is how much I bought that TV for. And now it costed me 20k in cash. Gents, there is no peace in my home because of that money. Even though I had to do it to rescue my son, and my wife also assisted me, but there is no more peace because of what I did. I took the TV and then I mounted it to the wall on my son's bedroom. Weeks later, that was when my 8-year-old son, whom I'll call Sizwe, not his real name, he started having fits, like full-blown epileptic seizures. They started when we were having supper. He nearly choked himself to death. And then he fell to the ground. There was white stuff that was forming at the mouth. My wife called the ambulance, and then we took him to the hospital. I did not even sleep. We did not even know what was taking place with our son. I thought that maybe there was someone that was bewitching me and my wife because of the progress that we had made in life. In the morning, my son was okay. The seizures, they will come and go. That same week, that was when I had a dream, and in that dream, I found myself at the border trying to cross into Zim, but in the river, there were too many crocodiles that wanted to eat me. And then I saw my own father, who died a very long time ago. He was angry at me, and the simple question that he asked me that made me to wake up screaming, he said, "What have you done with my cows?" Because by the time that I crossed the river, a lot of the cows that belonged to the family in my dream, they were also crossing the river, which meant that wealth was being taken from our family and being given to someone on the other side of the border. I woke up screaming, for I had no intentions whatsoever to go to that country. Then my son kept on feeling really sick until my wife agreed that this was spiritual. We started with our own local prophets who saw nothing, who blamed our neighbors for bewitching us. We then went to a village. One Sangoma was like doing guesswork, and she said, "Have you ever had a person from Zim work for you and you never paid that person?" It was only after we had left a house that was when that statement ringed a bell in my mind, and I said, this connection. But I did not tell my wife, and I started connecting the dots, and I said, maybe those people that were deported and the items were being kept at my house, there is a problem right there. I went online, I started looking for prophets until I spoke with that man that I am telling you about. I went to Mpumalanga and he explained to me that maybe there are things that belonged to someone who was a ritualist. He did not know that the TV that was in my son's bedroom at that time belonged to a man who was a Sangoma, who came from a village in Chipinge, who made me to pay a heavy price for a simple TV. I asked him, how much did you buy it? He said he bought it for only 1,400, but the money that he wanted, it was just too much. There is no peace for me right now with my wife. We are still together, but no more peace. I then returned back to Joburg and I spoke with my wife. She was so mad and angry at me, knowing that I was the one to be blamed. Told my sister, told those men that used to go around taking the stuff about what was happening to my son. We called so many sangomas until I brought a prophet. This prophet was brought to me on behalf of that sangoma. He was the one that was negotiating peace between me and that man that was now in his country. That man, he used to be so stubborn on WhatsApp. You see, when you are facing spiritual problem, then you know that there is one who can help you with the spiritual problem, and that person is just stubborn to you. You become so broken and you don't even know what else to do. I would speak with him and he will say, how about you sell my TV and give me the money that I want? I'll say, uncle, how can I take a TV that you bought at the Indian shop and I sell it for 20K? Do you know how big a TV can be for it to be 20K? This is a 32-inch. How about we sit down as gentlemen and then we talk about it? You will say, so you have not yet suffered. Let me see what I can do. Whenever you will say, let me see what I can do. I even learned Shona saying, Usadaro Shamar, because my son was always sick at all the times. He will have seizures as if he was about to die. The most terrifying thing was whenever he would eat, it will be like he would want to choke himself to death. The man demanded that he wanted 20K. 20K is a lot of money. But me and my wife, we ended up paying that money, including the transport fees for that man, the prophet that came to assist me and my wife. And that man, he would demand from his village there in Chipinge until he reached Joburg. He would demand money. He said that he did not want to buy KFC. He only wanted to eat from the best fast food restaurant, and it costed us a lot. He came, he stayed at our house as if it was his house, demanding whatever that he wanted. When the money was done, when we had gotten the money, we gave him the money and he left. My wife even said, let us not even think about taking the money from him, for our son can die. We let this man just go with the money. But my son now, he is not completely healed, but it is better, way better. This is my own confession. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our brother. Strange things indeed they do happen in this world.